Good afternoon and welcome to VAI's Coffee Talk. My name is Joe Ciacia. I'm the Vice President of Sales, and today we're going to cover how to leverage S2K Mobile for effective proof and delivery tracking. VAI offers many different mobile apps. We have order entry, route sales, proof of delivery, warehouse management, sales info, and field service. But today we're going to concentrate on proof of delivery. So when you look at the proof of delivery process, typically the way people do it today is they send the driver out with a piece of paper. Maybe it's an invoice or a pro forma invoice or a packing slip, and they basically get the signature on that piece of paper by having the receiver sign that piece of paper. With proof of delivery, you're able to do that process right on a mobile device where the receiver basically signs the mobile device with their finger, and that image is captured on the device and transferred back to the ERP process. Also, during that time, the delivery person is basically confirming the delivery of the merchandise by either scanning the items off the truck, confirming a full pallet delivery maybe, or actually using the device to check off individually the items that have been delivered. It also allows the user to capture photographs. So if there's an item that's rejected or returned, the driver can take a picture of the product right then and there. And it also assists in reconciling payments collected in the field by allowing you to post those payments directly into accounts receivable. Okay, so let's take a look, before we jump into the app, let's take a look at how the back office data is built. Okay, so when you're using proof of delivery, it all revolves around the route processing that's in S2K Enterprise. So as you can see here in the customer master file, there's a routing button that pops up a little window that says, what route is this customer on? Okay, and you can assign a route number as I did here, route 1010. You can also manually assign a stop, or you might want to interface S2K to a package like RoadNet, which will automatically, look at all the orders and assign the stops automatically based on, best processes and best route to go through. So you can see here that the route is assigned to the customer. And then in order entry, that route will come over and the user has the ability to override that. So if they wanted it to go on another route, you could also change the route during order entry and put them on a different route if need be. Okay. If you're using S2K hard goods and you have your own trucks, you might be using something like Route Manager, which also enables you to move orders off of one route and put them on another route. Okay, so there's a lot of different organization tools that you can go through before the route is finally established for that customer order. Okay, if you're using food, the route manager screen looks a little different because typically we break down the picking process into dry, frozen, and refrigerated for food customers. But again, this same tool can be used to move orders off of one route onto another route. And basically, in the end, when you're done with either two of the processes, you'll have customer orders assigned to a specific route on a specific day. Okay, so then on the mobile app, when the driver signs on, the first thing they're going to press is the top button that says Start the Route. Okay, and they're going to ask for what route are you processing for today. Okay, so you can see on the right-hand side, the driver enters, I'm processing route 1010. He can put his truck ID in, that's optional. Also, it's optional, but you can enter in the starting odometer reading. And you'll see at the end, we also ask for the ending odometer reading for tracking some statistics about how many miles were driven. Okay, once they enter that data, they'll click on Start Here. And basically, the system will then download to the mobile device the routes and stops for that day. Right? So the route that he entered, he'll put in all the stops. What's the first stop, second stop, third stop? On the left-hand side, you can see you can press Google Maps and kind of get a pinpoint map of all the routes. So if you want to see a visualization of where you're driving, you can look at that through Google Maps integration. Okay, but the routes are downloaded, and once they're downloaded, the driver can actually work disconnected. They no longer have to be connected to the internet to actually process and deliver their goods, because a lot of times drivers drive into far off locations where the internet may not be good. So this is a local app that's loaded on their device so that once they download their current deliveries, okay, they don't have to be online after that. Okay, so typically what happens is the driver goes out and they may click on the first stop, and you can see on the left hand side that at this first stop, the system's basically saying you have an order to deliver, but you also have a RA to pick up. So this is a nice feature for the proof of delivery system where it not only helps you in confirming deliveries, but you can also put RAs on a route, and when a driver's out of stop, they can be notified that they have to pick up merchandise while they're there. And both things require confirmation, right? So on the right hand side, let's take a look at the delivery first. So you would basically just touch the screen for the delivery and it would bring up all the items that you have to deliver. So there's lots of ways you can confirm delivery. You can scan the cases with a barcode, okay, as you pull them off the truck, okay. You can see the little plus and minus option. So as they're pulling things off, they could click on the plus and minus to confirm each item. There is also a button up on top that says deliver all. So if the items were already shrink wrapped and palletized, you might use a deliver all, okay? And then if there's any rejections or they're not delivering all the items, they can use the minus button to subtract one of the cases, let's say, that are not being delivered. If they don't deliver the items that are supposed to be delivered, then what happens is the screen to the right pops up and says, okay, they ordered one, you're supposed to ship one, but you're not delivering it, okay? So it'll ask the driver for a reason code why they aren't delivering it. And basically that's just a drop down so they can choose from a set of reasons that you have preset. And you'll notice that they can also type in comments and also take a picture of the item. So let's say it happened to be damaged and they wanted to just make note of what that damaged case looked like, they could take a picture of it as well, okay? Once the delivery is done, you can see all the check marks are there. They can now confirm and close out the proof of delivery. On the right-hand side is optional payment processing. So if I wanted to collect payment, I can collect cash, check, credit card, all right? And I can make note of how much I collected, and if there was a check number or if it was cash, I can store those payments right on the device for reconciliation later on. Okay, then the customer will need to sign, so they will turn the device towards the receiver, they'll type in his name as well as capture the signature. That signature is going to be captured as a JPEG and embedded into the proof of delivery document, which you'll see in just a minute. Okay, so when they're done, they press confirm, all right, and they're basically done with the delivery. Now, the same process occurs for the pickup. So they'll return back to the pickup screen and say, okay, I just want to process the pickup. And the same process, they can scan the items that they're picking up. They can use the plus and minus. If they're not picking up everything, they can pick up short, whatever they need to do for the pickup. Okay, they can take pictures of the items if they'd like. All right, so you can see they're storing some pictures of the items they're picking up. And again, we ask for the signature to confirm the pickup. Okay, so now both of those tasks are done. You can see the delivery is made and the pickup is made, and this stop is now complete. All right, depending on the device configuration that they have, some drivers like to have a Bluetooth printer on the truck or on their belt to print the final proof of delivery. Okay, another nice way to do it is that when this is confirmed, the system can send, the mobile device can send a notification back to the back office ERP, and the proof of delivery documentation can be emailed to the customer directly. So this is just an example of a sample proof of delivery, but you can see the receiver signatures there, as well as on the upper right hand side you have the delivery date, the delivery time, and the geocode, which includes a longitude, latitude of the exact location the delivery was made. Okay, so like I said, this could be emailed out, if you have a connection right away, or maybe at the end of the route, they can all go out. So they can either print it on the truck or have it emailed. Okay, so at the next stop, let's say hypothetically they wanted to reject the delivery. So the system helps in tracking that as well. So they get to the next stop and they say, okay, I want to reject the delivery. So they click the top right-hand side of the mobile device, and you can see the system will prompt them for a reason why they are not delivering, this order. Okay, incorrect address, incorrect selling prices, ordered by mistake, whatever it may be. Okay, but the delivery is rejected, and you can see on the right-hand side it will put an X there next to that delivery that it was rejected. Okay, all right. So some other things that you can do besides doing deliveries on any one of the accounts that you're at. By touching the hamburger menu, you can bring up account information. You can also allow the customer to pay open invoices, or they can do an order status inquiry just in case they had an order in there and they wanted to know the status of the order. Okay, so let me show you a few of these screens as well. So the account information screen looks like the screen on the right where you're going to see their open accounts receivable balance. All right, if you click on open AR, you're going to see their open invoices. But one of the things you can do here is process a mobile payment. So maybe it's not a payment for the delivery you're making, maybe you're just collecting money from the customer. Okay, so to do that, basically what you have is when you click on open invoices, you will click off the invoices that the customer would like to pay, and the mobile device is going to total it up. Okay, and then when you're done, you can say, all right, how did I collect payment? Was it a check? Was it cash? Okay, and you can just put that information in, and that's going to reconcile later, you'll see, when you want to post back to accounts receivable. Okay, so other things you can do, like I mentioned earlier, you can just look up orders, and you can help help the customer understand, if the order is open, if it's in picking process, if it's already been delivered. You can drill into the details of the order, the summary. If it was sent out maybe another way through maybe parcel tracking, you can even show the tracking numbers and give the customer tracking numbers. So there's a lot of nice information that the driver has from an order inquiry standpoint on the mobile device as well. Okay, so once you're done, okay, and you try to close out, if you have any pending deliveries, the system will warn you and say, hey, you have some pending deliveries that you didn't make. You need to either close them out, okay, and reject them, or obviously go and deliver them. So if you say review, it's going to show you the pending deliveries that you missed. Okay, and either you have to close them out and say I didn't deliver it, or actually obviously make the delivery. Okay, so if you are done and all the deliveries have been made, you can see that the system will prompt you for the closing ending odometer reading. Okay, and that just helps us in creating some statistics for the route. Okay, and you can see the system back in the back office is tracking data for each day. Right? When did you start the route? When did you end the route? How many miles did the driver drive? How many orders were delivered on each day? Okay, and there's a lot of nice reports that you can get on the route summary information. Okay, so once this is all done, the proof of deliveries have been sent out. Your proof of delivery process is complete. Let's take a look at what happens with the cash and the reconciliation of the cash settlement. So when the driver closes out his day, what's going to happen is cash batches will be created for each driver en route back in cash receipt processing. So you can see here, this is just an example of all the drivers that have closed out and how many checks or cash was collected in the field. And it's going to have the total balance of what they said they collected for reconciliation. So basically all you have to do in the back office then is click on a specific route or driver, okay? And then you basically will enter in the amount of cash, okay? So you'll count up the checks, but you'll enter in the amount of cash. The system knows based on the checks that they put in what the total of checks are, and you can reconcile the total of checks if you'd like, but you'll enter in the amount of cash, and then basically the total deposit should reconcile out, okay? If for whatever reason it doesn't reconcile out, there is a driver deposit report that will show them, okay, this is what we reconciled against that batch, and here's any variances. So if you have to charge back the driver or investigate what happened, you can do so off of the driver deposit report. Okay, so it really makes the cash processing very, very simple because it creates those batches for you. It helps you in reconciling the cash and the checks. and then just process right through into accounts receivable. All right, so that's a quick overview of proof of delivery. And as you can see, as compared to a manual process, the proof of delivery system really offers tremendous benefits. It eliminates a lot of tedious work. It eliminates a lot of duplicate entry. It eliminates scanning in paper signatures when you get them in from the back. And we've seen customers get a real return on investment when they've implemented this app. I want to thank you today, and if you have any more questions or would like more information, feel free to visit VAI at www.vai.net.